What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys MWPA Season 5 Earth, the movie. We took over a team in my good buddy KMJ's league, the Milky Way Pokemon Association, in the Earth Division, which is the third of the four divisions. It was originally coached by Envy. This is a free draft style, so our team was pretty strong. It was pretty good. Honestly, like free draft is pretty borked, so it ended up being a little bit powerful. And I'll sort of like just go through the mons as we get to them. But I'll lay out the whole roster right here. Celesteela, Zygarde 50%, Mega Diancie, Infernape, Necrozma, Rotom-Wash, Roserade, Mimikyu, Alolan Persian, Piloswine, and Starmie. I have no idea. I didn't change anything with the team when I picked it up. There were 3 weeks left when I picked up the team, and then potential playoff matches after that. But I sort of wanted to highlight this this whole journey, and this will also be my first adventure into editing together videos and text slides. So this should be fun. I'm excited for it, but I wanted to record this while it's still in my mind, so I am still a little bit sick, as you guys probably know from my PTL content and all of my GDS matches, but there you go. So first up, we played Evader in the New York Scrafties in Week 6 of the league. So I brought a physically defensive Necrozma to handle his Hawlucha. That was the main thing, was handling the Hawlucha. This also handled Darmanitan, slightly handled Bulu, and it was my main Mega Mawile answer as well. I brought a Spikes Roserade with HP Ice for the Tornadus and the Latios. Otherwise, Sludge Bomb Giga Drain just did a lot of work to his team. Running enough speed on the Roserade for something. I didn't write it down, apparently, so I don't know what I was outspeeding with the Roserade. 274. It's outspeeding max speed Bulu. Rotom-Wash, physically defensive-ish. Just a mixed defensive set. I think I randomly threw these EVs in with an Papa Berry. Secondary counter to Mega Mawile. I think it dealt with Slowbro pretty well. That was the main idea there. And Crocodile as well. Celesteela, I brought a physically defensive Celesteela. This hard-checked Mawile, hard-checked Bulu, and that was about it. Reasonably checked the Hawlucha, kinda. I brought a Colbur Berry Starmie, running enough speed for the Latios, and the Colbur Berry was there to be able to live a pursuit from Crocodile, or live a knockoff from Crocodile, and deal a lot of damage, or kill it with Ice Beam or Scald, probably Scald. I can't remember all the intricacies of the sets. This did happen quite a while ago. And I brought a Life Orb Iron Fist Infernape with enough speed for something. Nihilego, maybe? Probably was Nihilego. Yeah, looks like it was Nihilego. So that was the squad to take on Evader in the first match. And now I can hop right into the replay instead of cutting, because I have it pulled up here. So this was the matchup. Ended up bringing Mawile, Bulu, Hawlucha, Latios, Slowbro, Torn. My game plan was get up spikes, have my defensive mons just like eat hits, and honestly, physically defensive Necrozma looked amazing this game, as well as Starmie looked pretty good too to me. So getting right into things, he led with the Slowbro. I just went with Rotom. Went for the damage, saw that it was reasonably defensive Slowbro with Future Sight. Just Volt Switch on the Mawile for free. We don't see Intimidate, which is interesting. Infernape gets to come in and U-turn for free on the Slowbro. And I can't remember what I went into to eat the Future Sight, because it's coming off here. Rotom, that's what I eat the Future Sight with. Does a lot of damage, but I get to Volt Switch again for free. I went for Thunderbolt because it was going to kill. I should have Volt Switched, though. Into the Starmie on the Latios as he drops a Draco. Scarf damage Specs was going to kill me, and I'm just going to sack off the Starmie, honestly, because Starmie is worthless to me at 2%. So, bye-bye Starmie. Latios gets a free kill. Sorry, Life Orb. Wait, was it Life Orb? No, it wasn't Life Orb. Never mind. It took damage. Miss a Leech Seed. Big oof. Take another Leech Seed. Obviously, Fire Blast doing a lot, but Leech Seed recovery is nice, and then I can just swap out into my Rotom. Eat the hit up nicely. As Mawile comes back in, I'm really not fussed. I'm just going to Will-O-Wisp it. Player off, obviously, Burn Player off isn't doing that much, and it pops my berry, so that was really Best case scenario for me, and then I just hard swap into Necrozma as he knocks off, actually, which was interesting. I mean, I could have just Volt Switched. There you go. As I get my rocks up, play rough, and then I'm just going to let this Mawile just sort of like die to burn damage as I just Moonlight my way up, making sure that I'm in a good amount of HP continuously so that this can still check the Hawlucha. I don't need to be exactly at full, but I need to be very healthy, and obviously I outspeed the Mawile. Very obviously didn't show any Sucker Punch, so I'm not sure what was going on there. There's no Sucker Punches. Celesteela is a free switch into Bulu. Zen Headbutt's doing no damage. Zen Headbutt was weird. I guess protecting the Roserade to come in on like a grass attack, maybe. Bloom Noom also doing nothing to Celesteela. Leech Seed, I predicted the Slowbro coming in, because I really figured there's no way Bulu stays in on like a heavy slam. And Superpower is obviously weakening this thing. Air Slash is just gonna two-shot it very easily. Slowbro comes back in. I'm not healing, but I go into Roserade this time on the Superpower or the Slowbro prediction, which is really good. I get a free Sludge Bomb off, which manages to poison the Tornadus Therian. Really good. Happy about that. Right back into Rotom-Wash. Pretty easy. Misses a Hurricane. Hurricane wouldn't have mattered. It's not doing anything to my Rotom. And then it hits the Rotom, obviously 18% you see there, and Rotom's just going to be able to pick up the kill. Pretty free Volt Switch for me. The Torn could have lived if it switched, because Regenerator, it would have been able to live Rocks, but it wouldn't have been able to live Rocks plus the Poison. I figured Infernape was a pretty free neutral mid-ground play here. I'm just going to Volt Switch this time with the Rotom into the Bulu as the Slowbro switches out, and I'll be able to get my Roserade in. To kill this Bulu at the very least. Roserade is not looking super useful against anything left besides the Slowbro, so I just sacked it off to the future site, not a big deal. Infernape gets to come in again here, and now Hawlucha is going to be in. So the monster's in, the Hawlucha is the biggest threat to my team. It's got its Unburden boost, but I know I can go right into my Necrozma and deal with this as he sets up a sub. Again, not a problem. I'm healing with the Grassy Terrain, and I get my Photon Geyser off. Even +2, it doesn't matter. He should not be able to kill me unless he crits here, and I can just take out his Hawlucha. But he gets the crit, and all of a sudden, the game is over. So, yeah, that was a roll to kill me, even with the crit, the +2 acrobatics, and the Hawlucha is just going to be able to sweep through my team with the Unburden +2 boost, unfortunately. So we do take the 3-0 loss in our first game. And I guess I will see you guys for game 2. And welcome back. Here's week 7. So we were taking on Mustang in week 7, and I'll run through the team. Celesteela bringing a weakness policy set. Enough speed on the Celesteela to outspeed Weavile at +2. Just a physically offensive one. Needed Seed Bomb to be able to hit the Suicune really well. Adamant max attack, so we're getting a ton of stuff, and if we can get the weakness policy off, then we're in a really good spot as well. Yeah, so that's a pretty fun set. Infernape bringing an Assault Vest set. I was just running 4 attacks, and I just slapped on an AV. HP Ice is there for the Garchomp, and it's running enough speed for the Garchomp as well. Alolan Persian looked really good to me on paper. It's running enough speed for the base 110s on his team, which are Gengar and Mega Gallade. Yeah, like besides the Mega Gallade, Alolan Persian just looked really strong as a Weavile answer, as a Garchomp answer, and I think that was it. Physical Mew, potentially too. I don't know. Taunt looked really good against his team as well, and Parting Shot pivoting just like very clean. Starmie, I'm bringing Electrium Z Thunder. This is a nuke for the Suicune. Does about 70% if the Suicune isn't boosted, so goal was to sort of just be able to like bait the Suicune to stay in on Starmie, and obviously I have speed and I can just get an Electrium Z Thunder off. Enough speed for the base 110s again, so the Gallade and the Gengar. Rotom-Wash, I brought a fully physically defensive set with Discharge for Paralysis, but goal is, this is the main Garchomp answer and also a secondary Gallade answer. Primary Gallade answer, and then Roserade, I brought a Life Orb Spike set with Leech Seed, which was interesting. It's got enough speed for Rotom Heat. Spike looked really good against his team because Rotom Heat's the only like Levitator, nothing else flies. Unless Silvally Flying came. So that was the goal with the team there. So hopping right into the battle here, we're taking on Mustang. He's going to lead with the Garchomp as I lead with the Persian. Very easy parting shot, or taunt for me, turn one, sorry. Keep those rocks off the field, and then a parting shot out also seems pretty free into the Clefable, which basically brings in my Roserade for free. And Roserade has a fantastic matchup against what he brought. Gengar comes in on the Spike. Gengar I don't have a switch into. Garchomp obviously gets to take the Spike's damage here as Infernape comes in. I debated HP Icing, but if he was Yachi Berry, it wasn't worth my time, so I just U-turn into the Starmie. Rocks go up on my side, but it's not a big deal because Starmie gets a free Ice Beam. Obviously, it threatens out the Garchomp there. We can tell it's probably not Yachi Berry based on that, but also can't really tell. Suicune coming in, not a big deal. I'm actually just going to pause it here for a second. Protect is huge that we found out it's a Protect set. I'm baiting Scarf Starmie with this Ice Beam here. Suicune's not in range of Electrium Z Thunder yet, so I have to pivot around and get those things in. Persian's a good way to do this. I obviously had Persian here to taunt like a calm mindset, so taunt seems free again. As the Clefable comes in on the taunt, we find out it's Magic Guard Clefable, obviously, as it's not taking the spikes. Again, biggest threat to my team that he brought is the Gengar. It's really hard for my team to deal with right now. Clefable shows knockoff, which is very sad. I wanted my weakness policy, so we are not going to get the weakness policy boost, unfortunately. But I do get a heavy slam off on the Suicune. Again, not the biggest deal. Silvally Grass is going to come in here on Seed Bomb, so he's scouted for the Seed Bomb maybe, but I know I eat any hit from this, and it's just going to die to the Acrobatics. Just to pause it for a sec, he's got Shaman on his team, so I'm really confused as to why Silvally Grass was the play. Like, I just feel like Shaman just fills that role so much better, unless he was only doing it for the parting shot, which, I don't know, maybe. But Celesteela basically picking up a kill there on the Silvally. Gengar's going to come in, taking the Spike's chip. Spike's doing a lot of work for me. Obviously, Infernape's like my only switch into this Gengar. Yeah, he probably should have known that I was AV based on that damage from the Life Orb there. His Flare Blitz is doing nothing in the Suicune, but I can just U-turn out on the Suicune now. He is in range of Electrium Z Thunder, but I don't want to go into that. I want to go into Roserade. Roserade's safe here, and obviously, well, not obviously, but I eat the Ice Beam pretty well. There's the Protect. I think I just went for Giga Drain. Yeah, so Gengar's probably going to come in here on the Giga Drain, or the Clefable, sorry. Coming in on the Giga Drain, I'm just going to get some HP back. Lots of HP, actually, because it's doing 40% to this Clefable. And now he's going to go into Gengar to scout the Sludge Bomb. Weakening the Gengar, which I'm okay with, because, like, Spikes damage plus Life Orb damage is racking up. I end up just sacking off the Infernape, and Infernape's not really doing much this game, and making the Gengar take Life Orb plus getting Persian in for free here to knock off is pretty clutch. Getting rid of Clefable's item is pretty important, especially because that thing is like kind of a problem. So I'm just going to be able to parting shot into the Celesteela here, and I actually opt to click Autotomize this turn, as the Suicune's going to come in. So Suicune's in range of a Seed Bomb, in range of 2 Seed Bombs, sorry. It's not going to outright kill, but it will break a sub at the very least, because I am max attack Adamant. Protect to get some lefties back, but Seed Bomb damage is just going to be, it's gonna come in clutch here, as you can see, doing 29. And Scald is not going to burn me, and it's not going to be enough. So this puts the Suicune in a bad spot. It puts my Celesteela in a bad spot too. It means I cannot switch my Celesteela out. I don't have Rapid Spin on the Starmie or Defog on the Rotom, so I have to stay in. Now Garchomp's going to come in. I was fine with just killing the Garchomp here, so I opt to just Heavy Slam as he makes a weird play and goes into Clef and sacks Clef for no reason and gives me another Beast Boost. And now Mew's going to come in. Mew's not quite in range of +2 Heavy Slam. If he was extremely offensive, then he would have died. But instead, the Thunderbolt's going to come off. I could have just died to the rough skin damage from Garchomp. It didn't matter. Persian gets to pick off the Mew. I'm sitting in a really good spot now just because like Garchomp can't really touch me, and I get to parting shot into my Rotom and burn this thing. Which is, I think, what I opt to do right here is he Z's. Devastating Drake obviously not doing a lot to me when he's -1. And then opts to SD on my burn. So this Garchomp is really at -1 still. No, sorry, +1, and now he's at +3, even though it says he's at +5. No, I'm losing myself here. Either way, Outrage comes off. I know that Starmie's going to outspeed this thing. Very free Ice Beam. I'm still baiting the Scarf. He has no reason to believe that I'm not Scarf. Gengar obviously is not going to outspeed me, and I can just take it out with an Ice Beam as well. I was bluffing the Scarf there on purpose. Mustang is a potential playoff opponent, and we're sitting in the area where we can still make playoffs at this time. So we pick up the 3-0 win, basically evening it out. So I'm now 1-1 plus 0 after taking over the team with 1 game left in the regular season. This game matters a lot for my playoff hopes. Week 8 is going to matter a lot to make it to playoffs, whether or not we'll make it and whether or not what seed we will be in. Turns out that I'm going to need only just to win the game to make playoffs. So that's the most important part, is that we win our Week 8. And quick cut, and I'll see you guys in Week 8. Hello and welcome to Week 8. Alright, we are taking on Jules and the Grayson County Cubones. This is an interesting matchup. Again, like I said, this was a matchup we absolutely had to win to make playoffs, so I was trying my absolute hardest in my prep for this game. And I saw an opening for Zygarde, and that's sort of the goal that we're going for. Jules had a very interesting team, pretty passive team. Just looking at it, like things like Shuckle and Chansey just make this team relatively passive in my eyes, and so I had a decent idea of what to expect going in. So I ended up bringing a Spec Starmie with Trick, Psyshock, Ice Beam, and Surf. Like, pretty good coverage just for the whole team. And then Trick was obviously there to get rid of my Specs onto something that can't use it well, like a Shuckle or a Chansey. I did think that the presence of Mega Diancie on the team would stop Shuckle from even coming. So I was relatively happy about that, although it would have been setup fodder for Mega Diancie if I ended up bringing that. Yeah, so Starmie's outrunning Superior with the speed investment, and it's doing a lot of damage with Choice Specs. Zygarde bringing a leftovers, very bulky leftover set. I can't remember exactly what hit I was trying to live, but I did split my EVs in particular to live some hits. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, looking back on it, I honestly can't. Might have been Tectonic Rage from Doug Trio or something. Yeah, Max Tech Adamant, tiny bit of speed. I don't really need that much speed. I think the speed was mainly there to outrun an Arcanine running no speed. And then I had just 1,000 Arrows, Extreme Speed, Sub DD. Sub is super easy to get off on things like Chansey, and then I can just DD up in its face, really. The only 1,000 Arrows resist on this entire team is Superior, but Superior is dying to Extreme Speed if I'm boosted enough. In Fernape, I brought a Choice Scarf set with U-Turn, Close Combat, Flare Blitz, and Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot for the Mega Altaria, it was the only purpose. Infernape put on a lot of pressure this game, and just a Scarf set in general just put in a lot of work. Speed Tying Keldeo, Celesteela, I brought more of a defensive set. Flamethrower is there for the Superior. I didn't want to miss Air Slash and potentially get caught in a Subseed war where I'm just like missing, and it's even worse for me. Heavy Slam just is like really good stab, and it's mainly there for the Altaria. Altaria would have to have fire coverage to hit me. And then Leech Seed Protect, very standard physically defensive Celesteela. I also brought a specially defensive Rotom-Wash with Foul Play for the Jirachi. I didn't need to be physically defensive. This is my main Scarf Jirachi answer. And I really don't have a Thunderous Therian answer, so Piloswine is my Thunderous Therian answer. Icicle, very standard Piloswine set, honestly, like very, very standard. So hopping right into the match here. This is what was brought, so we don't see the Manabuzz, which I'm happy about. We see the Keldeo, the Jirachi, I'm scared about those. No Arcanine was really good to see, and no Mega Altaria was also really good to see, especially the Doug Trio as well. I wasn't going to get too trapped by the Doug Trio, because Starmie is just going to one-shot the Doug Trio. I didn't care about being trapped with that. Didn't matter what move I clicked, it's dying. Zygarde, I can obviously like deal with it. Infernape can always U-turn out if I had to. Otherwise, it's dying to every move. Celesteela, I am trapped, I think, but I don't care about Doug Trio at all. Rotom, I don't care about it at all. I can just foul play it and kill it, and Piloswine can kill it. So realistically, Doug Trio did nothing against the roster that I brought, so I'm okay with that. Again, we're playing to win. So that's what I'm going to do. Lead with the Infernape on the Thunderous. We find out that I'm faster, so even if it's a Scarf Thunderous, it doesn't matter. Catch the Volt Switch there with the Piloswine. It gets free rocks on my side, or on their side, which was the main idea here. So Weezing actually has Fire Blast. I mean, that wouldn't have mattered because Piloswine was Thick Fat, but Rotom-Wash, Spadef Rotom-Wash just eats that for days. Volt Switch doing a lot, and the Fire Blast damage showed me this was a very offensive Weezing. I'm going to eat the Toxic with my Starmie, and now I can just get fire off a Specs Psyshock. Didn't matter to me how much the Jirachi was taking. It doesn't take that much. That's Analytics Specs boosted, so I was definitely expecting a little bit more damage, and it shows me Choice Banned based on that U-turn damage to the Rotom. Superior coming in basically means I need to hard switch here into Celesteela, and the sub comes off, so subspeed shenanigans will ensue. Obviously, Celesteela's got a really high base HP stat, so like Leftovers plus Leech Seed is getting a lot of HP back for the Superior, and it can pretty much indefinitely do this against my Celesteela and just wear me down. Right here, I'm going to opt to go into my Infernape, because I figured it was probably just the best play to be able to U-turn out and like break the sub before it happens, or at least get a good chip. And so that was my play anyways, even with Chansey coming in, and Weezing is going to eat this Spec Surf here as he goes into Superior. I believe I went for the Surf. Yeah, I went for the Surf. Superior took a lot of damage from that. Analytic Boosted just did so much with the Specs. Infernape eats a Leaf Storm for free. I figured that she can't go for the sub there, and U-turn again is free, but I think I went for the Flare. Yeah, I went for the Flare Blitz this time just to be able to get rid of that Superior. It's the biggest thing stopping my Zygarde from just winning. Chansey comes out. I'm going to go into my Rotom here, eat the Toxic, and then I'm just going to pivot into my Zygarde. Figured that was my best option here, as I don't really care what the Chansey's going to do as long as it doesn't Toxic twice, and I don't think it is. It's just going to opt to Seismic Toss me. Leftovers is going to get me a lot of HP back, and Seismic Toss isn't breaking my sub, so she's going to opt to go for the Toxic here, and now is when Zygarde pretty much just wins the game. I get to Dragon Dance in the face of this Chansey. It's just going to Healing Wish into the Superior, so it's going to get a lot of HP back. Obviously, this is her 1,000 Arrows resist, but I get to Dragon Dance again. We see HP Ice, and it's going to break my sub. Not a big deal. I noticed that max special attack HP Ice isn't killing me, and double extreme speed is killing this. So the game's over, and we see, based on that damage, and based on the Leaf Storm damage, I calculated it's a very standard Superior with like 200 special attack. That crit didn't matter on the last one, as we saw it was a 49% roll. And then 1,000 Arrows just wins the game here. So Zygarde cleaning up, and we pick up a clean 6-0, gave us a lot of differential. At one point I was sitting in the third seed of playoffs. Only the top 4 seeds made playoffs, so I was sitting in the third seed of playoffs at this point. Based on the 6-0, and then I ended up dropping into the 4th seed. So we are going to make playoffs in the 4th seed. We will play the 1st seed, which is Avon, and I'll see you guys for the semifinals, since there's only 4 teams making playoffs, only 2 matches, and then the finals. So I'll see you guys for the semifinals match. Okay, so now this is the semifinals match. We're taking on Avon and the Anastar City Aerialates. Avon seems really scary, and I ended up doing a lot of prep work for this, and I went back and rewatched the replay where Avon beat the previous coach of this team, and Amoonguss was on that team, and it turned out to be a big problem. So I ended up prepping a little bit hard for Amoonguss, and we'll see that here with the Necrozma. Alolan Muck didn't come last time, and I would imagine Alolan Muck doesn't come a second time. Double Ground sort of like shoos Alolan Muck away a little bit, but it's the only thing stopping this Calm Mind Storm Power set from Necrozma, as well as like a Haze Melodic, which could be a big problem, but otherwise this Necrozma set can kind of sweep, potentially. That was the idea with it, at least. Celesteela was another weakness policy sets, which actually looked really good against Avon's team. As long as Skarmory wasn't there, this set looked amazing. Big thing is that the Melodic was also a problem, but it could easily set up on the Amoonguss, was the idea at least, and we went from there. I can't remember how much speed. Oh, it outsped Thundurus Incarnate at +2, which is the fastest thing on his team. And Necrozma outsped everything at +2. With the Autotomized boost there. Infernape just brought a Scarf set with Flamethrower, though, for the Skarmory. Pretty standard Infernape set, honestly. Speed tie with the Terrakion. Piloswine, I brought in a Thick Fat. I brought a fully Spadef variant because this was my Thundurus Incarnate answer, and also a secondary Gardevoir answer. Roserade being the primary Gardevoir answer. Um, although it was gonna switch out on the Psychic move after the Hyper Voice. Giga Drain, Spikes, HP Ground, and Sludge Bomb HP Ground obviously there for the Heatran. I brought Yachi Berry to be able to live a hit from the Mamoswine and Oko it with Giga Drain, although it worked for like Ice Beam, Melodic, Ice Beam, Latias, HP Ice, Thunderous, for any Ice move. Sludge Bomb, really good damage on a lot of stuff. Dealt with the Gardevoir reasonably well. Best move to hit the Latias. Spikes were just so clutch, despite having 2 Flyers and a Levitator. Spikes is just really good damage on a lot of the grounded, on all the grounded mons really. So just max special attack, max HP with the Yachi Berry there. And then last but not least is my patented Z-Splash Mimikyu. But instead of the normal build with Play Rough, I had Woodhammer on this build. Shadow Sneak plus Woodhammer is generally enough, and I didn't run a whole lot of investment here. I was just outspeeding Melodic with this investment in case you wanted to bring like a max speed Melodic for some reason. That's what I was outrunning there, and meant that I can run Adamant, which is pretty important on Mimikyu, honestly. If you're running Jolly, you're missing out on a lot of damage, but in some matchups you need to run Jolly. Shadow Claw being there just for good neutral damage against a lot of stuff, and things that I would outspeed like Mamoswine. Don't really want to take recoil from Woodhammer against them. This requires Alolan Muck to basically be dead or not come, and Amoonguss is also a big problem for this. So that was that, and let's get right into the match here. So, as you can see, Ditto comes over Amoonguss this time, so I did end up over-prepping for Amoonguss. Roserade was my only Spore Switch in, by the way, but Amoonguss was just free spikes for me with Roserade, so I was fine with having that as the answer. Thunderous Incarnate's a problem, Latias is a problem, Mega Gardevoir is not that big of a problem, Heatran's not that big of a problem unless it's Air Balloon, and Melodic's a problem. So, I'm just going to lead with Piloswine. Opts to just lead with the Piloswine as he leads with Gardevoir, tracing the Thick Bat, and then he actually opts to stay in regular form and taunt me, predicting rocks. I opted to just Earthquake. I thought that was a really good play, staying in regular form so that an Ice move wouldn't do as much to the Gardevoir because of the Thick Bat, but it's getting 2-shot by the Earthquake, so he's obviously just going to switch out here into the Melodic on the Icicle Crash this time. So I predicted the Thunderous or the Latias to come in on that. And then the Latias is going to come in on my Roserade double. So again, really good double there as Thunderous comes in on my Piloswine. So this is a matchup I'm kind of okay with. Flash Cannon's going to come off. It's doing a lot of damage, so Life Orb pretty clutch there. Getting rocks up is really important for me. And then I'm going to double into the Infernape that turn. I knew I could eat a hit from the Thunderous, especially if it was Flash Cannon. I'm Scarfed, obviously, so I was going to get to U-turn on the Melodic into my Roserade, which pressures this a lot, and it'll let me get a Sludge Bomb off onto the Latias, which is doing big damage. So we see that doing really good damage. Heatran's going to come in on my double into Celesteela. I'm scared of the Heatran clicking a fire move, so I just go into the Infernape on the Lava Plume. Obviously can't get burnt. Now he's going to be scared of the Earthquake, so I get to U-turn out. Or Close Combat, sorry. Close Combat was 2-shotting it. Actually, I calced in Close Combat was 2-shotting everything at the range that they were at. So Gardevoir is going to come in, and Close Combat's going to 2-shot this. Even though it's 4 times resisted, Close Combat's 2-shotting it. So the rocks put Latias and Gardevoir in range of being 2-shot. So Infernape's going to get to pick up a nice kill on the Mega Gardevoir here. Mega Gardevoir was Avon's like offensive MVP the entire season, so I was perfectly okay with that there. I'm just going to bring Roserade in on the Thunderous, and then the Spidef drop means that I'm going to die to the next Flash Cannon, so I actually have to switch as Heatran comes out, and I'm going to go into Piloswine. So this is a matchup that Avon doesn't want, and in comes the Ditto, so I'm perfectly okay with getting damage on the Ditto. Obviously, I'm bringing a lot of setup threat with the Weakness Policy Celesteela, the Necrozma, and the Mimikyu, and now basically Ditto dying puts me in a position where Necrozma can come in. Melodic's obviously getting a free recover on Piloswine every single time, so I just decided to bring Necrozma in now, and then Melodic shows off the Toxic. So probably worst case scenario there, especially because the Melodic is naturally faster than Necrozma. I should have been running a little bit of speed for it, and the Haze is going to come off. I just keep Calm Minding up, really. And now I think I click Sword Power, maybe? Can't remember exactly what I do here. Maybe I switch? Oh, I switch into the Roserade. He might be scared of me being Scarfed, and I'm scared of him being Scarfed. So I'm just going to go right back into Necrozma on the Melodic. I'm not sure why he'd go Melodic on Roserade, but he is just predicting a double, I think. Latias is going to come in. I'm scared of this being like Electrium Z Latias, mostly to deal with the Celesteela, but I just get to get some more boosts up here. to make stored power do a little bit more damage. The Toxic's really annoying because it means that I basically can't do anything, and unfortunately stored power isn't going to be doing enough to this Lottie. It's only doing 28% with 4 boosts, so I needed some more boosts. Yeah, and it basically just means that I'm sacking off Necrozma here, hoping to get as much chip on the Latias as possible, because things are starting to be in range of my Mimikyu. I think I'm in a pretty good position for my Mimikyu, but unfortunately, I'm just going to follow the Toxic, and Necrozma pretty much did nothing. So that's quite unfortunate. Piloswine's going to come in. I'm just going to get off an Icicle Crash, I think. Or I predict the Earthquake this time, because I know he's going to switch out of the Latias. Bringing my Roserade, I'm Yachi Berry, so I can eat the Ice Beam from this if it has it, and I'm pretty sure we found out that it doesn't have it. But it's really important that I get up a Spike. So there's the Giga Drain. I'm sort of like playing around being able to get up a Spike. I needed the Giga Drain just so that I could live hits. Latias is not going to quite kill my Piloswine, but I sharded to get some damage on the Latias, and he's just going to switch to the Melodic, so pretty bad scenario, but just means that Piloswine gets to go down. Means that I get to bring Roserade in here, and I get a Spike up. Spike is very important because it puts Heatran in range of +3 Shadow Sneak, which I otherwise wouldn't. Latias is going to come in here, and I believe I just yeah, so I'm just going for health, and at this point I'm sacking off Roserade. I need to get Mimikyu in here. As soon as I get a Z Splash up, it's over. I don't care if he breaks my Disguise, which is exactly what he opts to do. I'm just going to be able to get my Z Splash up, and this game is now over. Heatran is in range of +3 Shadow Sneak, so is Thundurus, and Melodic is going to die to +3 Woodhammer. So, GG's to Avon. We pick up the semifinal win. This Mimikyu is just such a monster, man. I just love this thing to death. 4 kills in our game here. That Spike coming in clutch from Roserade. Have to admit, Roserade has been the MVP of the season so far. Yeah, we're going to move on to the championship match. It's been a while since we've been in a championship. Our last finals match was the NCL Season 2 finals. And so, yeah, we're actually going to take on Mustang in the finals. He did beat Nasilga in the other semifinal. So look out for that rematch, and I'll get right into the finals. Alrighty, and here we are for the championship match. Having a rematch against Mustang, obviously we know his team from the last time, and we also know that I bluffed Scarf Starmie in that game, even though I was Electrium Z Thunder. So I ended up going with a very similar team. I only changed a couple things around. Changed the Celesteela setup a lot. Instead of a completely offensive set, I went with a Spadef set with Metal Sound Giga Drain just to be able to 1v1 Suicune and make sure that I could always break a sub. And that Calm Mind Boost wouldn't be doing anything on the defensive side for him. Essentially, because Metal Sound goes through sub, it's a sound-based move, so ensuring the Giga Drain would be able to break subs eventually. It's the exact same set on Persian, literally the exact same, still it's beating the same things, Gallade and the Gengar. Starmie is the same set-ish, but I ran Psyshock over Recover. I figured Mega Gallade was going to come this time, just looked a little bit better against the roster that I had brought last time. And so I wanted Psyshock to be able to hit that, and Psyshock was my best way to be able to break a Suicune sub if he did get boosts up. So that was the set with the Starmies, outspeeding the same stuff. I opted to put Defog on the Rotom-Wash over Discharge, and I changed it from Leftovers to Rocky Helmet, just so I'd get some more chip on things like Weavile, Garchomp, and the Mega Gallade. Again, I'm very confident that Gallade is coming this time. I don't know over what, but it definitely is coming. Roserade, I believe I was Life Orb last time. I changed it to Black Sludge. Made myself a lot more defensive, and I ensured that I'm two-shotting... I ensured that I'm breaking a +2 Suicune sub with Giga Drain. That's how much investment I'm running, especially. Same speed investment as last time. I'm outrunning Rotom Heat with this speed investment. Again, Synthesis over the Leech Seed, though, because it's just more reliable recovery. And Spikes are definitely still very important against this team, especially because, again, Rotom Heat is the only thing not flying. And then I opted to run Bulk Up Mimikyu sets in the last slot. I can't remember exactly what I replaced. I replaced the Assault Vest and Fernape. Yeah, so basically I have no good answers to Gengar, but Celesteela is my better answer to Gengar, is essentially what I went with instead of the Assault Vest and Fernape, and so that's just how we're going to play the game. So Mimikyu is outspeeding Silvally, by the way, with this speed investment. So Heading right into the game, we see that he does bring the Mega Gallade this time, and Shaman comes over the Suicune, which I was shocked with. I'm like, why in my head? It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Shaman doesn't really have a good matchup against me. Pretty much at all, actually. Shaman looks really bad unless he was expecting the Zygarde, and then it was a good bring. But in that case, Silvally Grass would have still been better, because you get HP Ice, sorry, Ice Beam to hit the Zygarde back. Very confused, no idea what the Silvally type is going to be. He brought Silvally Grass last time. It's not going to be Silvally Grass this time because Shaman's here. And yeah, so here's the finals. I'm going to lead with Persian just like I did last time. I'm actually just going to taunt the Silvally so it can't Parting Shot on me this time, and I'll get the Parting Shot momentum right here. I don't care what he goes for. I'm just going hard into Starmie. -1 Ice Beam does nothing to my Starmie. And we see, oh, actually, worthy to note, we see that it's Silvally Water. Very interesting that Silvally Water came over the Suicune. I don't understand that play at all. But I went for the safe Psyshock. Psyshock hit everything well. Mew's not going to be switching in necessarily. I really didn't think that Mew was going to switch in, and it was going to hit the Shaman coming in really well, which I liked. Essentially, without Suicune, Electrium Z on this Starmie is only good for the Silvally Water if I'm in a 1v1 scenario with it. So it's pretty bad, honestly. It's a neat nuke for, like, Gallade, maybe? Gallade, Mew, maybe? ICMZ looked a lot better this game, and I probably should have changed it to ICMZ, but Ice Beam is just going to blow through the Garchomp anyways, and I just wasn't expecting the Shaman necessarily. So, yeah, Psyshock the Shaman, I kind of have to switch here. Roserade's a very free switch every time, unless he's got Psychic, and he predicts that and goes into Glade. So, really good read on his part. I'm going to bring in Rotom-Wash, and we'll see that Drain Punch is doing a lot of damage. But now he sees the Rocky Helmet. Not a big deal. I'm just going to Volt Switch on the Shaman switch in. Again, Roserade gets to come in for free, and this time it is for free because I'm not doubling. So the Mew is going to come in on my Spike. Spike's very important in this game. I needed one layer of Spikes to put things in range of Mimikyu. Magikarp Clefable, once again, I'm just going to taunt it from getting up Thunder Wave. Okay, so I thought it was Rocks, and then I missed the Gunk Shot, and I live the Moonblast on 1. If he's uninvested Moonblast, that is the max roll for Moonblast. I was very scared that he was slightly invested, and I barely lived. Wow. I need to Parting Shot the heck out of here. Persian is in a bad spot now. It's essentially sack fodder or just like Parting Shot support. Roserade gets to come in on Moonblast really for free. And I get to Sludge Bomb for free as well because there's no Steel type. So Gallade taking a lot of damage from Spikes plus Sludge Bomb. That's a really good spot for me. I'm just going to go into Starmie here, and he's actually going to crit the Zen Headbutt. So that mattered because I wasn't getting 2-shot by Zen Headbutt, but now I am. And I'm just going to go to the Rotom on the Silvally Water. I did predict the Silvally Water. He's going to Parting Shot out. I thought, should I Volt Switch? I did. Bad play because the Garchomp came in, but not a bad play at the same time because I can just Will-O-Wisp. I'm actually just going to opt to double into the Persian because I figured if he's going to kill something, it's going to be Persian, and otherwise I can just Parting Shot out, which is exactly what happens. I go back into the Roserade. I get another free Sludge Bomb off. Even with my special attack drop, it's not going to matter. Something's taking a lot of damage here, and it's going to be the Mew. Roserade has an amazing matchup this game, and I'm just playing around the Roserade matchup. I'm going to go to my Persian on the Mew. Again, I don't care what he's going to go for. I'm going to opt to knock off the leftovers that we just saw. I'm not entirely sure what Mew said he's going to be, but we're just going to get rid of it, and I'm just going to die to the Thunderbolt. Again, doesn't matter. Celesteela gets to come in. I get a Toxic off here for free. I can Toxic the Mew because it can't synchronize the Toxic back because I'm a Steel type. Silvally Water taking a lot of damage there and just going to opt to Parting Shot into the Shaman. I think I went for Heavy... Oh, I went for Metal Sound just to... I was going to Giga Drain it, but now I'm just going to Heavy Slam because he went into Shaman. No, I'm going to go into Roserade. And Silvally Water is a really bad play on the Roserade. I thought he was going to switch, so I Sludge Bombed. He shows the Defog and then Toxic. This is a free Spikes for me because I don't care if he... Parting Shots out. He's dead to Spikes now on entry. So that's his hazard removal, and it's dead to Spikes on entry. I don't care about the Silvally anymore. It's dead. He cannot get rid of the Spike, so this one Spike is going to put in so much work. I have no reason to get up more than one layer of Spike, if I'm being honest. I could get up another layer and put Gallade at 1%, but I need 3 layers to put the Gallade out of range. Oh, I totally forgot about this. No Gengar? Like... Gengar just blew through my team in the first game, and I was really scared of Gengar. It was huge that Gengar didn't come, and that Mega Gallade came over Gengar. Garchomp's going to come in here. I just get to go into my Rotom. That's my play. as he SDs. So hopefully we live the Z move. He's not going to Z move. He thinks that he can kill me with regular Dragon Claw, and he cannot. And I get to burn him for free. Now I go into Celesteela. Celesteela eats anything. Dragon Claw is doing negative damage, and I basically just get to wear this thing down, and I think Heavy Slam plus the burn damage is just going to knock it out here. And it is. So Garchomp is dead. That's perfect. That means that Mega Gallade is not a threat anymore. I don't understand sacking Silvally to the spike there. I think it was a lot smarter to sack Silvally later on a switch or a double or something. Obviously, it was dying to the spike, and you have no other way of removing it unless you had Defog on Mew for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. The Mew comes in. I'm just going to opt to Toxic. I don't really care. If he's sub, then I find that out, and I get to Heavy Slam. But he's actually just going to Roost. Again, Synchronize doesn't work on a Steel type, so now the Mew's on Mew's on a timer, which I'm okay with. Heavy Slam plus Toxic damage. I mean, I'm just wearing this thing down. I think I'm going to opt to Metal Sound next turn just to avoid the Combine boosts relatively, especially defensively at least. And I'm just going to double this turn. No, I'm not. I'm going to opt to Heavy Slam. It's the next turn I'm going to switch out, I think, as the Toxic damage brings him below 30. As he's going to switch out into Shaman, or maybe a Heavy Slam again. I Giga Drained. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what happened, but again, Shaman is just a free Rose Raid every single time. Free Rose Raid. I have no problems with that. I'm two-shotting the Shaman. I know it. I know that I'm two-shotting the Shaman with Sludge Bomb, and he knows it now too. The poison means that I'm absolutely two-shotting him, and Earth Power is not doing enough to my Rose Raid for me to care about anything. So that's my play. Sludge Bomb it. Shaman's dead. Whatever. That's perfect. That means Starmie is in a good spot. Gallade coming in here. Obviously, I have to go into Rotom. It's dying to my Rocky Helmet, so Zen Headbutt Miss did not matter because the Rocky Helmet goes before after the Drain Punch healing, but he can't heal anything back. Double down, in comes the Clefable. I'm going to go into Starmie. I figure it was time to blow the Z move, show off my Z move. This was a really bad play because Clefable lives that and rocks go up. Rocks could have been a problem. Honestly, it might have been a problem. I'm just going to bring in the Rose Raid here as he gets the Thunder Wave off. I'm pretty sure I'm Natural Cure, so I can just switch out and the para is gone. As I get fully paralyzed on the turn, I collect Sludge Bomb. Of course, Mew's going to come in. This time I'm going to get the Sludge Bomb off, and Mew just dies to Spikes plus Sludge Bomb. So it's Clefable against the world here. I have Rose Raid and Celesteela alive with Sludge Bombs and Heavy Slams. Excuse me. And honestly, with Celesteela, I can just keep Metal Sounding until I can just Giga Drain all the way back. Sludge Bomb is still two-shotting even after the special attack drop, so that's pretty big. But it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go into Celesteela here. He very clearly doesn't have a fire move to hit me. He's Moonblast, Thunder Wave, Soft Boiled, and Rocks. Misses the Thunder Wave. Again, doesn't matter. Heavy Slam is two-shotting him. He's running some speed investment to get over my min-speed Celesteela. Very interesting to note. So I could have just been running. I could have been running speed investment and just Heavy Slammed him to death. But yeah, we are going to win. I know it seems like we're not because of all the paralysis and getting fully parried and stuff, but he's just going to opt to stop the cycle. Eventually he's going to run out of soft boileds, if I'm being honest with you, and Mimikyu can just kill him at that range as well. Starmie can do a lot of work, and so we win, and I'm really hyped about this. We are your MWPA Season 5 Earth Champions. It's my first title since UPBA Season 1, almost 9 months ago. It's been a long time since I've won a title. I'm very happy that I won this title. I wasn't intending on uploading this season at all. I was just a replacement coach, and no one else was really uploading the matches. So, but I figured I won the title. I want you guys to see me winning another title. It's been a long time since I won a title, and so many titles in that sentence. But we pick up another first place. I'm so happy. It's the day after, and I'm still really happy. I just wanted to show you guys my journey through MWPA. As a replacement coach, we lost one game, and that was because Hawlucha crit my Necrozma. We could have been completely undefeated. Yeah, I'm just super happy. The team was really strong. Celesteela put in a lot of work. Rose Raid was definitely the MVP of this season. Spikes put in so much work in that last game. In both games against Mustang, that one layer of Spike was so incredibly important. Mimikyu was definitely the MVP of my match in the semifinals against Avon. Week 8, Zygarde was 100% the MVP, just picked up a really clean sweep. Week 7 was that, and then in Week 6, I had a hard time building for that match, man. Honestly, despite the crit, I think Necrozma definitely could have been the MVP of that game. It looked like it was going to go in my favor, and then the crit on the Holocha just sort of ended my hopes. So, but that is it. We pick up the title, and we're your MWPA Season 5 Earth Champions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed MWPA Season 5 Earth, the movie, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of my content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.